Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the academic procession and the Chancellor.
I declare the 590th Convocation of McMaster University for the conferring of degrees is now in session.
Please be seated. Good afternoon. I'm David Farrar, and I'm the Provost and Vice President Academic of the University, and I have the great honor of being your Master of Ceremony this afternoon and of being the first to welcome you all here to today's Convocation ceremony. I would like to start by recognizing and acknowledging that we meet today on the traditional territories of the Mississauga and the Haudenosaunee nations within the lands protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. I would also like to take this opportunity to acknowledge a few leaders joining me on stage. In the middle of the stage is our Chancellor, Dr. Suzanne Labarge, and to her right is our President and Vice Chancellor, Dr. Patrick Deane. To her left is the Vice Provost International Affairs, Dr. Peter Masher, the Chancellor of the University of Waterloo, Dr. Tom Jenkins, and the Dean of Engineering, Dr. Ishwar Puri. Before we start the ceremony, I'd ask you to take a moment and just switch off any electronic devices that may beep or ring during the ceremony. And I would like to call on our Chancellor, Dr. Suzanne Labarge, to deliver her welcoming remarks.
Welcome, honored guests, staff, faculty, families, friends, and most importantly, graduands. This is an exciting day for all of you who are graduating today, as well as for all those people who have supported you and stood behind you, and in many cases have had a key role in you being here today. You've achieved a great deal to get here, and you should all be very proud of your success and looking forward to what the future might bring. Congratulations, and enjoy the ceremony.
It's now my great pleasure to introduce the Dean of Engineering, Dr. Ishwar Puri, and to invite him to come to the podium and deliver his welcoming remarks.
Thank you, David. This year, McMaster Engineering is celebrating its 60th anniversary. We're marking the occasion by recognizing the big ideas of our faculty members, staff, alumni, and, above all, our students. We have much to celebrate. Our students have big ideas. Last fall, we opened the new Gerald Hatch Center for Engineering Experiential Learning. This almost 30,000 square foot building offers space and support for our students to think big and to work on projects outside the classroom. Large building spaces, work areas, and collaboration rooms gives our clubs and teams a playground so that they can learn a variety of extra skills, such as teamwork and design thinking, that will help them succeed in the workplace. Our students are successful. We are proud that McMaster Engineering boasts the highest student retention rate in Canada, with 95% of our students successfully completing their first year. This demonstrates how we are attracting the brightest students and providing the faculty and staff support that they need to shine once they get here. Our students change the world. McMaster Engineering is one of the most research-intensive faculties of engineering in Canada. We proudly include hundreds of our undergraduate students in the research process each year, giving them technical skills, work experiences, and a network of contacts to grow their careers. We look forward to seeing where your big ideas take all of you. Please remember your Fireball family as you venture out to change the world. Congratulations, and enjoy this special day with your family and friends.
I would now like to welcome Dr. Patrick Deane, President and Vice Chancellor, to the podium, who will be presenting our honorary degree recipient.
Chancellor Labarge, by the authority of the Senate of McMaster University, I have the honor to present Roya Mahboob. Roya Mahboob grew up in Iran, where her family had made a home after fleeing Afghanistan as refugees. After the fall of the Taliban in 2003, she returned to her homeland and, as a 16-year-old, saw her first computer. She was inspired to pursue a computer science degree at Herat University and became that institution's IT coordinator. Even before she graduated, Ms. Mahboob worked as a women's activity officer for AINA, an organization that educates young Afghans, and particularly women, in the use of media and communications. She also co-founded the Afghan Young Development Program to enhance women's access to technology. After completing her degree, Ms. Mahboob founded Afghan Citadel Software Company with a specific mandate to ensure that at least 70% of the staff members were female. Afghan Citadel became a prominent IT consulting firm as Ms. Mahboob, Afghanistan's first female technology CEO, also completed her MBA in information technology. By 2012, facing pressure and attacks from the Taliban, Ms. Mahboob moved to the United States, where she established Citadel of New York while continuing to oversee her original Afghan company. In 2013, Ms. Mahboob co-founded and invested in the Digital Citizens Fund, a not-for-profit organization that facilitates education and access to the internet for Afghan girls. With a strong track record of building internet and media training centers in Afghanistan, DCF, with Ms. Mahboob serving as president and CEO, has recently expanded its activities into Mexico as well. Ms. Mahboob is also the founder of the Women's Annex, an initiative that provides financing for aspiring Afghan women filmmakers, and ED, which helps new graduates in developing countries transition into the job market. Ms. Mahboob has been widely recognized for her leadership, entrepreneurial success, and dedication to the development of women and children worldwide. She received the Civic Innovator Award from the National Democracy Institute in 2013 and the Tribeca Disruptive Innovation Award in 2014. She was named a World Economic Forum Young Global Leader in 2015 and received the Award for the Advancement of Gender Equality Through Education 2 years later. A member of the advisory boards for the Global Thinkers Forum and the Ashford University Forbes School of Business, Ms. Mahboob was also named one of the 100 most influential people in the world by Time magazine in 2013. As part of that honor, Sheryl Sandberg, the author of Lean In, Women, Work, and the Will to Lead, wrote the profile of Ms. Mahboob for that special issue of Time. Chancellor Labarge, I present to you an entrepreneur and activist whom former United States Secretary of State John Kerry claimed, quote, very well may represent a force of her own that could hold in the balance Afghanistan's long-term future. I ask you to confer upon Roya Mahboob the degree Doctor of Science, honoris causa.
Roya Mahboob, by the authority of McMaster University Senate, I have the great pleasure to confer upon you the degree Doctor of Science, honoris causa in McMaster University with all the rights and privileges pertaining to that degree. Congratulations. Get you to sign over here. I would now like to invite Dr. Mahboob to deliver the convocation address.
Good afternoon, Madam Chancellor, President, Deane, honored guests, graduated families, and friends. It's a great honor to be standing here today. I am continually amazed that the path that I have taken has brought me to this point. As a child growing up in Afghanistan, the idea that I would be here at International University accepting an honorary degree would have been a dream too good to be true. I am sincerely grateful for how you have honored me today, and I do not take this opportunity lightly. This is a moment in my life that I will never forget. Thank you so much. Any of these graduated or individuals around the world could have a life-altering breakthrough in their future. The next generation of the leaders could come from anywhere. The cure for world hunger, or the answer to poverty, or the next invention in medicine may be sitting here in this room today. There is no limit to the possibilities that reside in the minds and hearts of these graduates. As we graduated today, we must realize that one of the greatest challenges and greatest leadership skills that a leader or inventor can possess is courage. When I first walked into a cafe in Herat as a young girl, where I was first introduced to the internet, I entered a path that many looked down on me for. Many believe that a good girl should not be interested in technology and business. It was commonly forced on the woman that her only future was being a wife and mother. This was so ingrained into us that it took great courage to take first step, such as walking into an internet cafe in Herat. I took many steps. I grew in the knowledge and continued to follow my dreams. I became an engineer and then the first tech CEO in Afghanistan. Each of you has the potential to become a tech CEO, to pursue entrepreneurship opportunities, run startups, or do a research or development. As engineer graduates, your possibilities are limitless. What has happened to me can happen to anyone with a dream and willing to do something different and stand out. I believe deep within all of us is a desire to make a difference, the desire to do more, to become something greater, to take responsibility and be part of the changing the world. Many across of the world have access to education, training opportunities that allow them to continuously learn and explore their minds and creative genius. Boys and girls all around of the world are grasping the opportunities that they have and inventing, designing, created things that change their life. Breakthroughs in the science and technology and in other industries start with the dream of a child to do something great and make a difference. Because children, and particularly girls in Afghanistan, have limited opportunities, I had a desire to offer the girls in Afghanistan access to technology and opportunities. This led me to start my own nonprofit, the Digital Citizen Fund, a nonprofit that gives the girls in the developing world access to technology and education. An initiative that I have supported through Digital Citizen Fund is All-Girls Robotic Team from Afghanistan. This team was a symbol of courage that inspired thousands. These girls overcome incredible odds to travel around the world and prove that with encouragement and opportunities, girls and women have the potential to be leaders for change. This story was a victory, a vision of the hope for a country that for centuries ignored women's ability in science and many other industries. This team brought us to the point of change as tech leaders in Afghanistan. We saw the necessity of teaching kids math and STEM, science, technology, engineering, art, and math skills. The next generation deserves to learn and someday graduate from a university like this graduated here today. They have dreams and goals which they have every right to pursue, and learning is crucial to becoming meaningful, successful employer and employees. Because of our participation at First Global and First Canada, now we got a vision and hope to build a school of STEM, the first school of STEM, to educate the next generation of the young leaders in science and technology, with a vision to build a university at tech in the near future. One of you someday may be graduation speaker at the Afghan university. Leadership takes courage, but before courage comes curiosity. I was curious to go to the Deane cafe. This led me to go to the study computer science faculty at Farrar University, and then became CEO and pioneer of women's rights around the world. The next generation of the leaders are individuals of curiosity whose thirst for the knowledge drives them to succeed. They must continue to learn, to seek the knowledge, and follow the path where it takes them. Much of my work has been inspired by meeting with the leaders, CEO at tech industries and academies at the university. Their influences has made me stop and think about how to adapt my work and reach others better. The world is full of the challenge, and these graduates are the ones who will meet them. The potential of these graduates can only be realized as they become as a leader they are meant to be. As gold is put to the fire and become pure as more heat is applied, so an individual who faces great challenges become a true leader. Our stories can inspire them to follow their dreams and grasp the reality of their potential. But it's up to them to face their individual challenge with a courage. As they are led by their own curiosity and giving the time and resources, they will become who they are meant to be. Graduates, as you embark upon the next step in your life and career, never give up on yourself. Let your curiosity lead you. Follow your dream with courage. In time, you will be the leader that we know you can be. Your journey will not be easy. Time will see some of you deal with loss and tragedy, as women in Afghanistan know so well. Some of you deal with opposition and persecution. You will face hard times and what will seem like insurmountable circumstances. But the inventor, professor, and leaders who stand before you today and have guided you to this point are here as proof that the change is possible. Change is not happening overnight. Change takes time, energy, and tools. No matter what you face, you must not give up on your dreams. The world depends on you to bring the change that is really needed. With the tools you have been given, you can succeed. With the courage and curiosity guide you, and backing of the leaders who have gone before you, must perceive and never ever give up. As a graduate from engineering school, you have been equipped with the skills, knowledge, and techniques to make a world a better place. You can become employers, managers, teachers, even CEOs and a founder of companies. You have everything you needed to change the world. But as much as we would like to, we can't give you success. We are each accountable for our own actions. We must plan ahead to be ready for the next step. We must live our own lives and follow our own paths. We believe in you and your cheerleaders to the next step of your journey. We have done what we can. Now it is your turn. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mahboob, for your comments. I think she's given us a lot to think about. When we choose a person to nominate for an honorary degree award, we try and look for somebody that comes from the discipline that most of you are studying, who has done unusual things with their education. And certainly, Dr. Mahboob is a wonderful example of that. I mean, not only has she used her technology skills to develop as an entrepreneur in technology, but she decided that she owed something to her community, and taking on a culture that neither approved of education, much less for women, has tackled a major issue within the country and can make an enormous difference. And I can't tell you how delighted we are to be able to include her in the McMaster family and claim her as an alumna. Congratulations, Dr. Mahboob.
Dr. Deane will now come forward to present the graduands to our Chancellor for admission to their degrees.
Will the graduands please stand? Madam Chancellor, on behalf of McMaster University Senate, I present to you these candidates and those in absentia in order that you may confer the appropriate degree upon them, and I bear witness that they are worthy and suitable.
Graduands, by my authority and that of the McMaster University Senate, I have the great pleasure to admit those before me today and those in absentia to their individual degrees at McMaster University with all of the rights and privileges pertaining to those degrees. My sincere congratulations to you all. Please be seated.
Graduates, I will now ask each of you to join me on stage so that the Chancellor and I may welcome you to the McMaster community of scholars.
Ladies and gentlemen, so that each graduate's name may be heard, it would be appreciated if, during the presentation of the graduands, you would hold your collective applause to the end of each degree category. Thank you. Madam Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Doctor of Philosophy. Hong Feng Liang. Asma Mushakabar Parasha. Ala Sabana. Cheng Shu. Ephraim Kamali. Philip Harapka. Dania Alzuki. Mohammed Jafar Nazbat. Krishnathan Krishnan. Yu Mayo. Samshujin Nalankash. Zipan Ni. Amin Valley. Zahar Katomi. Ahmed Mograbi. Dixon Javier Paez Capacho. Mohammed Yasser. Hibatella Mohammed Tima. Madam Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Master of Applied Science. Yameng Chen. Mohammed Mahmoud Ahmed Mohammed Hamouda. Kuan Yu Liang. Shubash Thekal. Ardalan Amanian. Zhao Liang. Madam Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Master of Engineering. Si Gong. Tonghu Jiang. Si Chu. Ahmed Abdallah. Yuang Cheng Feng. Kei Chu. Daniel Roy Leonard Shaughnessy. Si Hon Sung. Raza Vahid Sabavazaria. Wu Rong Weng. Desdarius Florian.
Madam Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Bachelor of Engineering and Management. Haris Abdullah. Dhruv Ajay Agrawal. Hamad Akram. Faiz Ashraf. Ali Azad. Joe Baz. Trevor Michael Camizola. Cameron James Carruthers. Alex Kachun Chan. Nicholas Desmond Chimney. Ryan Cornfield. Ethan DeMello. Leanne Catherine Gruner Diaz. Michael Di Donato. Jonathan Joseph DiMatteo. Michael Dimmick. Alice Dong. Taylor Finlayson Dredge. Isaac Snyder Frank. Nathan Jiro Christopher Fujimoto. Prakar Garg. Harshvardhan Godati. Samuel Anson Jansi. Aaron Singh Garcia Jas. Tyler Singh Garcia Jas. Talha Javed. Vanessa Kang. Spencer Thomas Robert Kell. Nilufar Kashmiri. Fauzia Khanum. Jing Xiang Li. Jiaxin Lin. Austin Alexander McKillop. Evan Philip McEvoy. Kristen Joseph Milkey. Andrew G. Mills. Abdul Moiz Mohammed. Sami Nami. Jacob Howard Novis. Monashiso Okoro. Mehant Prakash. Dey Patel. Janak Dharmendra Patel. Nisarg Dilip Bhai Patel. Thomas Pham Kim Neem Phu. Sarth Ranpura. Jared Stephen Rayner, Muhammad Umar Rehman, McKay Graham Russell, Noel Saldana, Shan Sanga, Evan Schnar, Scott Gary Simotuk, Terry Hangyuan Shen, Vibhushan Siranathan, Peter John Stas Stepa, Hemant Murray Subbaraman, Sakishan Subramaniam, Z. Yuan Sun, Alec Antonio Terraborelli, Devin Wagner, Zheng Nan Wang, Jack Witek, Chenran Zhang, Qian Zhu, Madam Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Bachelor of Engineering and Society. Colin Graham Beswick, Kiranpreet Birdi, Nathan Brown Robinson, Stephanie Laura Michaeline Baisais, Roxana Stephanie Jared, Po Sun Huang, Jonathan William Kretz, Mitchell Dennis Cornell, Michael Joseph Podlowicz, Abdul Hanan Zubair, Madam Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Bachelor of Engineering. Kareem Abdel Messi, Marina Pulivelil Abraham, Michael Charles Abrametz, Anas Omar Abu Fardeh, Amar Zohair Abu Ghalazeh, Ishan Acharya, Antoine Adderley, Fahad Ahmad, Maz Ahmed, Rohan Ahmed, Muhammad Arib Alam, Hassan Alian, Muhammad Yusuf Al-Kafawin, Firaz Anabtavi, Hamza Arfin, Tivagar Athesivan, Chatura Randul Atanaik, Ahmad Awad, Akib Muhammad Azhar. Marco Bannock. Wei Yuan Bao. Ahmed M.A. Bilal. John Carlin Benologa. Priyanka Bhatnagar. Martin Daniel Bidzinski. Victoria Bilbilly. Scott William Black. Pravandeep Brar. Jonathan Samuel Brown. Han Kao. Jared Andrew Carlisle. Kyle Joseph Carpenter. Daniel Chafaretti. Yangfan Chen. Yicheng Chen. Chia Hao Cheng. Yi Cheng. Joletta Chung. Ocean Chung. David Cleve. Kayla Coco. Braden Maurice Corbold. Andrew Sam Denha. Tyler Mark DeJong. Boyan Deng. Vin Deshpande. Taylor DeVette. Manbir Kaur Dhoat. Luca Dinunzio. Stefan Dinunzio. Xiaotong Ding. Jiaokong Ding. Peter Do. Jingwen Dong. Andrew Ecladius. Mohammed El Chazli. Safa El Rais. Daniela Eliathembi. Rachel Ann Emery. Nicholas J. Enstrom. Valerie Evans. Arib Faruqi. Uzair Faruqi. Xiaoyu Feng. William James Carson Fletcher. Stephen Jiacheng Fu. Kevin Tulsidas Galani. Ryan Ganeshan. Andrew George. Romani Fatih Gerges. Sarosh Golami. Surinder Gill. Megan Goodland. Alexander Gorbin. Victoria Elizabeth Graff. Matthew Thomas Greaves. Glenn Janet Sandra Grossman. Kareem Girgis. Tianqi Guo. Yunkang Guo. Ron Joseph Haber. Mohammed Hassan Habib. Sam Habel. Mohammed Gihad Hamuda. Nabil Hamza. Huyu Han. Yifei Han. Marshall Hanmer. Jordan Hebert. David Eric Hems. Matthew Edward Hobers. Nikita Holiev. Ian Hong. Mianping Hong. Joshua Sir Rung Hu. Yujay Hu. Cole Yacht. Effie Ejevu. Mohammed Jabran. Saransh Jain. Stephen Tyler Jenkins. Kevin Axel Jensen. Jamar Kennick Jones. Joshua Joseph. Jacob Matthew Josiak. Runbin Ju. Lena Kabani. Peter Kalnoki. Stuart Glenn Keach. Haris Khan. Jason Elliott Kiefer. Gurkamjeet Cooner. Liam Kopp. Verena Effort Constantine. Matthew Christopher Kowalczykowski. Marco Laban. Aaron Lake. Rico Kwakhe Lam. Mariam Lanewala. Jonathan Wing Chun Lau. Ian Jason Lee. Natalie Ann Leger Ryan. Mitchell Daniel Lemieux. Sida Lee. Sydney Liang. Maxwell Samuel Lightstone. Bowen Lee. Chang Liu. Jackie Liu. Jiayu Liu. Jin Liu. Sheng Lu. Yafan Lu. Yuchen Lu. Gabriel Lopez de Leon. Michael Joseph Lovell. Kuifan Lu. Rosa Shandan Luo. Josiah David Ma. Roderick David McLahan. Daniel Robert Mandel. Kevin Mano. Asad Mansour. Allison Matson. Riley Patrick McGee. Sarah Carol McIntosh. William Mackenzie McLeod. Alexander David Melnichuk. Chantel Miller. Curtis James Milo. Nipun Ashokbhai Mistry. Lokman bin Muhammad Rasid. Joseph Mulaseril. Abdullah Muhammad.
Anthony Fadi Nahid. Samaraj Nalawa. Michael Nashid. Izzat Nabil Nazri. Emily Elizabeth Newell. Albert Nguyen. Benjamin Tien Phoc Nguyen. Daniel Lynn Nicholson. Brett Nickel. Orest Noasad. Nathan John Nywening. Daniel Alonzo O'Connor. Geneviève Ocon. Benjamin Olise. Prasan Pandya. Yushi Peng. Hong Sun Park. James Pashersky. Arpit Nitinbhai Patel. Kayur Patel. Luka Pavlovich. Maishan Peng. Tyler James Arcot Farrand. Jeff Pineda. Sharon Platkin. Makalida Pathula. Giuseppe Kirkes. Syed Uda Abdur Rab. Kelsey Renee Rab. Syed Shafif Rabani. Nicholas Rafa. Alexandra Raman. Rashmi Rajendran. Alison Hubble Rathwell.
Aram Raza. Evan Regmi. Paul Ruckus. Mark Raphael. Adam Edward Rose. Mark Grayson Ross. Adam Christian Rotella. Jonathan James Rukavina. Ryan David Segerman. Mradul Sahani. Yasser Saleh. Cody Richard Santing. Surendra Sapotka. Jonathan Christian Siracco. David Soares. Luca Luigi Saclisi. Samuel Scargill. Elliot Cheld Shiot. Christian Michael Scott. Ryan Peter Scott. Sashini Senarath. Aditya Shahani. Jinran Shan. Sonia Sharma. Benjamin David Shaw. Siddhanth Shekhar. Matthew Keith D. Short. Rishi Sika. Priyant Sivanandaraja. Hari Sivasambhu. Nazar Monzar Sheikh. Sherry Suleiman. Mark St. Aubin. Christopher Daniel Stokes. Stephen Sue. Brendan Sullivan. Yijing Sun. Ezeldin Tahun. Shuhao Tang. Tony Tang. Weihang Tang. Ibrahim Tanir. Jesse Brian Tatasciore. James Lynn Pushang Taylor. Amanda Jean Thomas. Graham Todd. Anne-Marie Tong. Joshua Peter Yuan Tsai. Carrie Lynette Van Vliet. Samuel Vergara. Ho Vo. Chen Yujing Wang. Haonan Wang. Yiru Wang. Mariana Wanis. Mark Wendels. Sebastian Andrew Wittek. Peter Wojdiolo. Connor David Wong. Tinu Brian Wong. Fan Wu. Zongji Wu. Andrew Michael Wislocky. Yanji Ji. Eric Zhao. Kailing Yang. Tianzhou Yang. Ian Yang. Harsha Yenduri. Wyon Bruce Young. Jordan Matheson Young. Jonathan Douglas Yu. Wenbin Yuan. Saeem Zaid. Carmina Zaki. Bohan Zhang. Bokin Zhang. Matthew Ziyi Zhang. Tina Zhang. Yufei Zhao. Zhang Shu. Zeli Shu. Victoria Zima. Jihong Kao.
Madam Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Bachelor of Applied Science. Tanya Elizabeth Bowman. Richard Watnanak Damra. Tamunono Toe Febresima. Syed Hussain Gardezi. Manar Haider. Zicheng Jiang. Ahmed Arif Khan. Vincent Lee. David Lee. Chang Liu. Jiamin Luo. Nevin Kapil Mahilal. Hassan Malik. Saim Malik. Randa Yasser Mohsen. Nicholas Adrian Morrison. Noura Nimri. Yifan U. Yash Hemant Kumar Patel. Katrine Rachitsky. Trevor David Ray. Maya Ramamurthy. Muhammad Sadi Salahuddin. Diana Soares. Sayam Sethi. Navleen Singh Tukral. Aryan Sorabi. Justin Staples. Xiao Chen Sun. Karan Tam. Graham Matthew Venter. TJ Daniel Walker. Yi Wang. Paul Warnick. John Yu Zhang. Osama Shahid.
Let's give one more round of applause to all our newest graduates. I would now like to introduce Mr. Mitchell Cornell, a graduate of the degree Bachelor of Engineering and Society, who will be delivering the valedictory address.
Good afternoon, Chancellor Labarge, President Deane, and Provost Farrar, all of the McMaster faculty and staff gathered here today, all of our honored guests, our parents, our family, our friends, and of course, my fellow graduates. This is it. This is the culmination of 4 to 7 years of hard work, determination, and perseverance. This is the culmination of 4 to 7 years of blood, sweat, and tears. And we can now call ourselves the class of 2018 for McMaster Engineering. And before I begin, fellow graduates, I just hope you all realize how impressive what we've accomplished here today really is. You're graduating from one of the toughest programs in the country, so be proud and really take time to celebrate your achievement. And now I want to take you all back to your welcome week. Think about all of the joy and all of the hope that you had about coming to one of the best engineering schools in the world. We were excited and ready to tackle university head-on, but university tackled back. Fighting through first year was definitely a struggle, knowing that we were competing for spots in our second-year programs. And whether it was trying to understand what an eigenvector is, or doing our best to survive Physics 1E03, the eliminator, we got through it. And then we got to second year, and we saw the introduction of our stream-specific courses, and of course, more math. We began to get a look into what our future careers might be like and the kinds of courses we could expect for the next few years. And then third year came along and the courses got more technical, and if you were lucky enough, formal math classes stopped. We sank our teeth deep into our disciplines and began to truly appreciate what it means to be a mechanical engineer or an electrical engineer or even an engineering physicist. Then final year started, which meant it was time for capstone. As if third year wasn't bad enough with all those technical courses, you now got to do all of that on top of a project which was designed to showcase everything you've learned in your time here at Mac. But even through that kind of stress, we did it. And it doesn't matter how many sleepless nights there were, because you're free now. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention the people who helped us make it through. We had some help from our parents, our friends, our advisors, and of course our professors. And whether it was being our biggest cheerleaders or calling to make sure that we'd made food for ourselves at some point in the last month, our parents had our backs. Every weekend I made it home, I swear I left with way more food than I knew what to do with. I think my mom thought I was in charge of feeding the entire football team. It was a lot of food. Our friends were the ones there struggling along beside us. They were there for the sleepless nights, and they were there cramming for 3 midterms in 3 days. Except for that one friend, the one who got everything done the day it was posted. I still don't know how they did it, and if anybody's figured it out, please let me know. But to contrast that, there was that one person who we all felt like we had to take care of together. They never knew when their assignments were due or what their tests or when their tests were. So to those people, you're welcome. We all probably came to McMaster with a hope of getting an education and learning what it means to be an engineer. Either that or at some point someone told you should be an engineer and you just kind of stuck with it. But during our time here, it was our professors who taught us the material we needed to get to this point. And sure, sometimes they made assignments harder than we thought fair. But now we can take on any adversity the world can throw at us. So for all of your wisdom and your mentorship, thank you to our professors. And now if you'd just indulge me for a moment, I'd like to thank some of the people who are joining me here today. Mom and Dad, how do I say thank you for everything? You've been there with me every step of the way, and I don't think I can ever repay you for everything you've given me. Jay, you taught me a lot growing up. You're the best brother I could ever ask for. And I could always rely on you to just hang out and de-stress. And I know that you'll always have my back. Samantha, you've been here throughout this whole journey, the highs and the lows. And you've always helped to keep me on track and make sure I'm happy. But also, you helped me find my love of tacos, so thank you for that. Mom and Dad, Jay and Samantha, thank you all so much. I love you guys. And now, while at McMaster, school for many of us was more than just sitting around doing the work that I've talked about and trying to write these lab reports. We made our impact and learned even more through our extracurriculars. Be it student governance, building an off-road buggy, creating and participating in organizations for like-minded individuals, building a car powered by the sun, or even building something that might one day go to space. These groups and teams really taught us a lot, but we also gave a lot to these groups. When I look at the projects that are in the Hatch Center, I'm truly impressed by what we, the class of 2018, have accomplished, and I'm so excited to see what we're going to do next. Looking back on all of it, MacEng really has been a great experience. It has helped us become the next generation of engineers, but I think most importantly through it all, we've learned to become problem solvers. We've been taught to think critically and how to deal with uncertainty, and I truly think that we are exactly what the world needs right now. It's not some great secret that we live in unstable times, but we can be the ones who fix the world's problems, the ones who deal with the world's uncertainties. So don't be afraid to overachieve. Don't be afraid to reach for the stars, and put your best self out there into the world. We're now ready to take on the world without reservation. Class of 2018, congratulations, and here's to the world we're going to build together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mitchell. I now call upon Dr. Deane, who will present the President's Award for Outstanding Contributions to Teaching and Learning.
Would Dr. Lotfi Belkir please come forward? Dr. Lotfi Belkir is a role model and mentor for entrepreneurship, innovation, and sustainability. Using his real-world experiences as examples, he inspires his students to take risks and to celebrate both success and failure. Dr. Belkir's passion for sustainability ensures that his students receive a holistic perspective on the ways in which technology and entrepreneurial endeavors can create both social and business impact. Importantly, his students learn that success is about much more than financial impact. The impact of Dr. Belkir's teaching is felt far beyond the classroom and long after graduation. Dedicated to keeping in touch with his students and supporting their development even after graduation, many of Dr. Belkir's former students praise him for being instrumental in their business and career successes. As one former student says, Dr. Lotfi Belkir is not only there to teach a class lesson, but he will be there to lead his students down their career path to their fullest potential. He doesn't turn off his mission once the students graduate. Since he joined McMaster in 2012, Dr. Belkir has supervised more than 80 master's students in entrepreneurship and innovation, and has helped those students in the creation of more than 15 startup companies, of which more than 10 are still actively growing and creating jobs for the local economy. Dr. Belkir has developed a unique teaching philosophy based on 4 distinct principles, which he describes as cognitive, experiential, relevant, and interactive. In ensuring that students are challenged through assignments and workshops to apply the concepts they learn to meaningful projects, and that the learning experience is interactive and enables students to learn from one another as well as from the instructor, Dr. Belkir fosters a level of commitment amongst his students that supports a long-lasting learning experience. In addition to his teaching commitments, Dr. Belkir has been an agent of transformation in the Walter Booth School of Engineering, Practice and Technology. He has re-envisioned courses and curriculum, led the development and delivery of the unique Innovation Studio course, and has expanded and enhanced the Masters in Engineering, Entrepreneurship and Innovation program. As a result of Dr. Belkir's efforts, this program was awarded the 2016 International Council for Small Business Global Award in Entrepreneurship Education Excellence, the first and only Canadian university to receive this prestigious award. Dr. Belkir's commitment to his students and ongoing dedication to the scholarship of teaching and learning make him a most deserving recipient of the 2018 President's Award for Outstanding Contributions for Teaching and Learning. Congratulations, Dr. Belkir. Well done. Your photo here.
Congratulations, Lotfi. I now introduce Ms. Janelle Hines, a graduate of the Bachelor of Engineering class of 2015 and a representative of the McMaster Alumni Association. Janelle will now deliver the Alumni Association address.
Chancellor Labarge, President Deane, Chancellor Jenkins, award winners, honorees, McMaster faculty, fellow alumni, guests, and especially McMaster class of 2018, you guys looked amazing crossing the stage, so give it up for yourself. So Facebook's memories reminded me I crossed the stage as a biomedical and electrical engineer three years and 3 days ago. It had me reflecting. Crossing the stage marks one of the most significant changes in your life. It marks not an end, but a new beginning. You're moving from your career as a student to a career as a professional, and for some of you guys, from an undergraduate student to a graduate student, God bless your souls. And maybe you're gonna trade the goals and the routines of university for something more freeform and personal. We all experience graduation transition in our own way. When I graduated, I tried to start my own business. I failed, got back up. I worked a dream job as an engineer in a hospital, and I traded in to run Helping Hands, a grassroots organization where I get to inspire and empower young people to be change makers and build their skills. So rather than advice, I'm gonna have six asks of you guys. So 1, whether you're in an organization or you're doing your own thing, please speak up. You are intelligent. You crossed the stage after all. If you see something, whether it's a product or a process that can be improved, let your teammates and your boss know. Look for problems to solve. For those that went to high school in Ontario, you may know trying to find somewhere to do your 40 hours is really difficult. I noticed this, and I decided to use my engineering skills to actually improve this problem, and now I get to impact young people across Ontario. 2, never stop learning. You should be continuously improving your skills so that you can innovate and improve this world. This may mean transitioning to another organization or going back to school. 3, let your boss know your career ambitions. Trust me that you'll reach your goals faster. 4, when we look around the room, we can see this room is diverse. Please strive to ensure that workplaces aren't just diverse, but they're actually inclusive and that they promote equity, not just on gender, but for race, people with disabilities, sexual orientation, and more. The products you make will benefit. 5, don't be afraid to ask for help. Even reach out to me and other fellow alumni on LinkedIn. 6, be ready for change. But what won't change is your experience earning your degree will always be a part of you, and you will always be a part of this community. At times, that connection will feel strong. At other times, it will take a backseat gracefully to other priorities. But when you do want to turn that lifelong relationship into an activity, a social media connection, volunteering, or one of the other dozen kinds of opportunity, McMaster Alumni Association will be there for you. That's our job. You can read about your alma mater, your fellow alumni, classmates in MAC, the news magazine for alumni, either in print, digitally, or through our monthly e-newsletter, Maroon Mail. You can be a part of a MAC alumni communities on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and yes, they're even on Instagram. And if you like sharing news and bragging to your friends about the great things happening here at MAC, join our team of social ambassadors called the Social Marauders, and we'll thank you with some great swag. If you're staying in the area, I would encourage you to participate in MAC 10 events. These series of events and services include career assistance, mentoring, online and in-person networking, and great socials designed specifically for new grads like you. And if you find yourself living far away from McMaster, lucky you, keep an eye out for events calendars as we do try to make our way to all corners of the globe from time to time. When you leave here today, I know that likely nothing I've said will stick with you, and that's fine. The association has just sent you an email with a fun little quiz reflecting on university years. When you look at the quiz, take a moment to have a look around the website, alumni.mcmaster.ca, and you'll be surprised just how much is available to you now as a grad and throughout your life. I personally love Question of the Week. And all of that advice I gave, /ask I gave earlier might seem daunting, but what you can do is get help from MAC. So whenever you're ready to connect, we'll be here. So members of the class of 2018, my serious congratulations to you on Convocation, and welcome to the McMaster Alumni Association. We're really proud indeed to have you as part of the McMaster Alumni family. Well done.
Thank you, Janelle. Dr. Deane will now return to the podium to deliver his presidential address.
Madam Chancellor, Dr. Mahboob, Dr. Jenkins, distinguished colleagues, graduates, ladies and gentlemen. Convocation, one often points out on occasions like this, is a communal event, a calling together of the different members and constituencies of the university family for the purpose of celebrating both individual achievements and our shared vision and mission. In a public institution like McMaster, where the education provided to students is very clearly understood to be both an individual and a societal benefit, speakers like myself tend to address themselves to the balance that all of you, our graduates, are expected to strike in the lives you will live beyond today's ceremony. In one form or another, the advice you're typically given is this: seek personal fulfillment and success, but never forget your obligation to serve the greater good. Now, in such a context, you're unlikely to hear anyone celebrating the virtues of ambition, a human attribute our culture on the whole regards with suspicion because we associate it with selfish, indeed sometimes anti-social attitudes. We talk, for example, negatively of someone displaying naked ambition, meaning ambition unmediated, uncontrolled, not linked to a purpose beyond itself. This is the kind of ambition Shakespeare was thinking about in his play Macbeth, and I expect many of you know the plot of that tragedy. Macbeth is a Scottish general whose ambition is kindled by a group of witches, of all things, who predict that he will one day become King of Scotland. He becomes consumed with ambition, plots to murder the king, and pondering that course of action, utters these famous lines: "I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition, which o'erleaps itself and falls on the other side." Now, my daughter, who's now in her 30s, has spent her life riding horses, so I'm very well trained to identify that as an equestrian metaphor. A rider, properly in control of their horse, pricks the sides of the animal with their spurs to initiate a jump. And the point of Macbeth's surprisingly candid observation is that there's no particular goal spurring him on, nothing other than vaulting ambition, or the desire simply to jump, with no regard for the point of doing it. His, in other words, is selfish or uncontrolled ambition, which he acknowledges gets easily out of control. As he says, it o'erleaps itself and can end in confusion or disaster, as indeed it does in the play, when, in one film version at least, he winds up with his head on a spike as a lesson to others. So that's why there are many reasons people are wary of making ambition a theme for convocation speeches. At the same time, though, it is important to acknowledge that ambition in some form must play an important role in the work of universities and the lives of the people who comprise them and emerge from them, whether students, faculty, staff, or alumni. For example, you're all here today celebrating your graduation rightly because you've aspired to achieve this. Each of you knows how much hard work has brought you here, and I do hope that you're right now experiencing the pleasure of personal ambitions legitimately fulfilled. If you're not sure quite what comes next for you, that's fine and understandable, and it is certainly no indication that your ambition has o'erleapt itself. The desire for knowledge, enlightenment, and understanding is always a sufficient spur to action. It is, in fact, ambition of a very pure and admirable kind. But many of you have greater and more concrete ambitions than this, I know. That's one of the things that make universities such wonderful places to work. While they exist in a sense because of ambition, because of our determination to know and to understand our world, they nourish our imaginations and they fuel our greater aspirations. And by doing that, they prompt us to identify even more challenging goals for ourselves and for our society at large. Universities are places, in other words, in which the innocent and not so innocent ambition of individuals can and should be channeled for the betterment of our society and our world. In 1918, the British philosopher Bertrand Russell, for whose archives, as some of you may know, McMaster provides a home, was about to be imprisoned for his pacifist activities. Pondering proposed roads to freedom, he wrote this: "The great majority of men and women in ordinary times pass through life without ever contemplating or criticizing either their own conditions or those of the world at large. A certain percentage, guided by personal ambition, make the effort of thought and will which is necessary to place themselves among the more fortunate members of the community. But very few among these are seriously concerned to secure for all the advantages which they seek for themselves. It is only a few rare and exceptional men and women who have that kind of love toward mankind at large that makes them unable to endure patiently the general mass of evil and suffering, regardless of any relation it may have to their own lives." So in this passage, Russell admirably describes the way in which that always slightly ambivalent thing, personal ambition, is transmogrified in some people into unambiguous good, as some seek to secure for all the advantages which initially they sought for themselves, ambition for the self turns into ambition for the good of society. Speaking at Northwestern University almost exactly 12 years ago at an event just like this one, Barack Obama commented on what he called a certain poverty in ambition for the self, because paradoxically, he said, it asks too little of the self. This is how he expanded upon the point. It is only when you hitch your wagon to something larger than yourself that you realize your true potential. Obama's point was partly that personal ambition is not necessarily incompatible with an altruistic social vision. Indeed, that the latter is frequently an extension and even a fulfillment of the former. So all of this is to acknowledge that while our society is nervous about ambition, as well it should be given recent developments on the world stage, humanity will go nowhere without it, and we must continually find positive and constructive ways to stimulate ambition, to articulate it, and to direct it. As graduates of McMaster, you are the beneficiaries of 130 years of positive ambition. What an effort of thought and will went into the opening of the medical school in 1970, the construction of the McMaster nuclear reactor in 1957, the founding, in fact, of the Faculty of Engineering 60 years ago, the establishment of the McMaster Museum of Art, the invention on our campus of problem-based learning, the founding of numerous world-class McMaster research institutes, not to mention the science and art of discovery as practiced in labs and classrooms across the campus every day. This year, McMaster has been acknowledged as the most research-intensive university in Canada. For the second year in a row, we are a finalist institution for the Global Teaching Excellence Award offered by the Higher Education Academy and Times Higher Education in London, England. McMaster rose to 66th place in the academic ranking of world universities and was up 35 places at 78th position in the Times Higher Education World Rankings. I'll put this in context. Given that there are more than 18,000 universities in the world, that means that you're graduating from an institution in the top 0.5% globally. You could not have made it here without ambition, yes. There's a great deal to be proud of in that and the history that has brought us to this point. You could not have made it here without ambition. And McMaster could not have achieved that kind of standing without generations of effort, thought, and will, and a determination to pursue and to achieve the highest goals possible. Now, anyone who has even simply walked across the McMaster campus during the past year will know the goal on which we have most recently focused our ambition, the achievement of a brighter world through education, research, and engagement with our community, whether you define the community locally or globally. In many ways, there is nothing new about this as the focus of McMaster's aspirations. Ever since our founding in 1887, the mission of this university has been to serve society by contributing to the advancement and application of cutting-edge science, by deepening our understanding of society and culture, and by fostering and celebrating creativity. Pursuing the highest possible standards in each of those areas is what has brought us to our current standing in Canada and the world. But is the pursuit of excellence in and for itself a sufficient justification for the investment that society makes in institutions like ours? To some extent, indeed, it is. But if we go back to that passage from Macbeth, we will remember that there are certain dangers in a self-justifying, vaulting ambition. What was missing in the case of Macbeth's ambition was, remember the phrase, a spur to prick the intent, a motive, an incentive, a goal well articulated. Those brighter world banners, everywhere to be seen on our campus, are intended to remind us that all the work that goes on in the university, teaching, learning, research, creation, innovation, is ultimately done in service of a goal. And that goal is the realization of a world that is healthier, happier, more just and equitable, more peaceful, better informed, better at balancing human needs with those of the planet, and richly creative. And the university is in that project, as they say, for the long haul, because it is obvious that such a goal will not be easily or quickly achieved. Great scientific discoveries take time and patience, as does the important work to explore and develop potential applications for such discoveries for positive social benefit. So the pursuit of human and societal health and well-being is a long-term investment of us all. The positive ambition which drives the university is in that sense open-ended. It is an energetic and relentless pursuit of answers to the questions we pose for ourselves and of solutions to the problems that impede human advancement. As graduates of McMaster, you are part of that ambition. Indeed, you are one of the most important ways in which our desire for a brighter world can be realized. Your natural talents and energy, combined with the skills and disciplines acquired during your studies, make you powerful agents for positive change. And you must have confidence in that, believing, as Marie Curie wrote, that you are gifted for something and that this thing, at whatever cost, must be attained. My hope is that you will use this power, each in your own way and in your individual lives, in service to a properly ambitious vision for the world you will want to inhabit. And I hope finding the place in that vision for your personal aspirations will bring you great joy and satisfaction. We are deeply proud of you. We know you will achieve great things, and we leave you with our warmest, best wishes for the future. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to the class of 2018. As a fellow McMaster alumna, I'll be fascinated to see where all of you end up. I think the one thing I can promise you is that 15 years out, it's going to be a lot different from what you expected when you leave here today. I was delighted to hear your valedictorian say that along with your education, what you really got here was the ability to think critically. Because you'll find out very quickly that our skills that we learn at university quickly become obsolete. But the critical thinking is what it is that allows you to continue to learn and to apply that. And that will stand you in good stead all of your life. And so as you go forward, all I can do is hope for all of you that you can reach your full potential and contribute to society. And I want to come back to another point that was both raised by President Deane and your valedictorian, which is Convocation itself, which is where you celebrate each of you as an individual and your individual success, but also the collective of all of us that are here today. Because as all of you have said, you couldn't have made it on your own. From your parents, who made sure you got through high school so you could actually apply to university, and who probably financed you most of the way through here, and then followed by your friends that you made here, who provided you with that incredible support that you need as you go through your years of education. And I raise this because your family will always be there, but there's a tendency to drift off from people that you've met through your school years. And I'm always amazed when I attend alumni functions of how many people say to me that their deepest friendships were ones that they formed while they were at university. That the crucible of growing up together, because these were some of your most formative years, was something that no other friendship could match. And so all I do is encourage you to keep in touch and to foster those friendships because they become so valuable. But part of that too is you've got to give back. Just as you needed the help from other people will need your help, and will need your help as you go out in the world. It can be done several ways. You can be like our honorary degree recipient, dedicate your life to that and your career to that. But you can also contribute through the Alumni Association to improving the university and making sure that it stays one of the best universities in the world. Or you can merely do it by helping other people who are junior to you reach their potential. And so I would encourage you to, as you go forward, to think that you can do something. When you've got the best education in the world, please do something useful with it. And so I am really going to end by echoing what everybody here has said, is we are very, very proud of you. And we know that you will succeed. And all I want to do is add my best wishes to all that have been given to you. Congratulations. I have a few final announcements. A reception will be held for graduates and their guests in Hamilton Convention Center, Wentworth Room C, immediately following the ceremony. I would ask that you please remain standing at your seats until the academic procession and the graduates have left the hall. Finally, please join now in the singing of our national anthem. After the singing of the anthem, this convocation stands adjourned.